guys, and welcome back to UnJaded Jade. So as you guys know, last year after my exams I did NCS in the summer. And if you don't know what NCS is, it's National Citizen Service. And in this video I'm going to attempt to condense 3.5 amazing weeks of my life into this one video. And unfortunately I didn't film many things when I did NCS, but I have got a few clips that I'm just going to randomly incorporate, as well as some photos. And I'm basically going to give you an overview of week 1, week 2 and week 3, as well as our social action project, like my group, how it was to be vegan on NCS. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. So in NCS, you are put in a group of complete strangers. I mean, sometimes you know like the odd person, but for me it was definitely, I didn't know anyone on NCS, and quite a nerve-wracking experience, and yet I think it's definitely necessary that way. I know that I've come away from NCS with way more people skills and an ability to talk to new people much more easily, and I would definitely recommend it for that sense, even if you are quite a shy person. They're very good at doing things like team building activities and icebreakers, so it's very easy to bond with your group quickly. So the teams are split up based on the skill that you choose when you apply for NCS. So for example, some of the skills that you can choose are photography, business enterprise, music, media, drama. So yeah, I chose, I think as my first choice I put business enterprise, and I put drama as my second, and I got put in Team Ward. This was like our symbol that we made. Team Ward, which is the business enterprise group, and that is the group that you stick with for the entirety of your time at NCS. So I remember day 1 of week 1, I arrived at the centre and I was in a massive long queue of people. I didn't know anyone, signed on my name, got into the room of people, and there were all these random people just sitting around with our team leader, and I met our team leader and he was called Dom, and it was kind of awkward because no one in our group knew each other, so we kind of just sat there and Dom was like awkwardly trying to get us to chat to each other. I remember we played this icebreaker game with a beach ball, and obviously it goes through your head, you're like, oh my god, I'm not gonna make any friends, like no one's gonna like me, oh these people are really weird or whatever, like all these stupid things. So yeah, we started to get to know each other, and when everyone had arrived, we hopped onto a bus, and I basically just asked this random girl that I had spoken to for like 2 minutes if she wanted to sit next to me. But shout out to Kayla here. So I sat with this girl that I had known for a few minutes, and I sat with her for 7 hours on the journey to Wales. And I'm not gonna lie to you, in those 7 hours, I got to know Kayla so well. She's American, she was just an amazing bubbly personality, and I think for me it was amazing to be able to meet her kind of first, because she was very easy to chat to, and I think it's nice on NCS if you can just find one friend to start it all off. Because once you've got one friend, that's the base you can build it upon. You feel a little bit more in your comfort zone if you just have someone to chat to. So Kayla definitely was that for me. So in week 1, you're taken to some sort of residential area, and that's just chosen depending on your wave. So for us it was Pembrokeshire in Wales, which I'm so grateful that it was. It was stunning there. You had Mount Snowdon, you had so many mountains and lakes, and we stayed at this PGL centre. So after like 7.5 hours, we rolled up to this PGL centre, and I was put in a room with majority people who were not even in my team. They were people from the drama team. And at first I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to meet more new people, like that's so sad. And I was also sad because some of the people I'd met in my team were roomed together. However, you know, you've got to be optimistic in those situations. I think partly because they were in the drama group, they were just such nice, bubbly people. And over the week that I was there, I became so close to these people, like honestly. So our room, we had bunk beds. It wasn't like a 5-star room at all, it was PGL, but there were 4 of us in a room. There were different sizes of rooms, 2 bunk beds, small toilet and stuff. There were like different buildings and different groups from different buildings. And obviously I was vegan on NCS, and my first night when I got to Wales, they forgot that I was vegan, which kind of sucked for me. So that night I literally ate like vegetables or something rubbish, and they were alright like every other night from then on, but the first night was kind of poor. I would definitely recommend that if you are vegan, just bring a few bars of some kind. I brought a load of like naked bars, like just in case. I did end up eating a few of them. To be honest, even if you're not vegan, just bring a few snacks on NCS, I think you'll appreciate it. There was a vending machine though at our PGL centre. So another cool thing I liked about doing NCS was that each day there was a project manager, and those people got to wear project manager badges, basically had a role of leadership for that day, no matter what the activity was. And I was very proud that on the first like proper day in Wales, I was chosen by Dom, our team leader, to be the project manager for that day. So that day we went kayaking in this beautiful lake with all these mountains and stuff, and still people didn't really know each other, but the great thing about NCS week 1 is that you just bond like that. You're just thrown into these sort of activities which not everyone loves or some people are scared of, and you just click. We also went rock climbing on an actual like proper rock, like a natural rock face. And quite a few people scared of heights. You really support each other through it. I think NCS is so good at that. Like even if you have like a mental health issue or just general fear of something, they're very good at supporting you through it and getting you to just challenge yourself, whatever boundaries you have. You know, you can just work towards those boundaries, even if they might not be the same as someone else's.
Hi. You didn't show them my chains.
Yeah.
My chains, come on.
Yeah, I'm coming round. Yay! So that week we also went gorge walking. We also hiked Mount Snowdon, which was completely unexpected. They do tend to take you on week 1 for some sort of hike, and they like gave us bags and stuff. Honestly, that night hiking was probably one of the best experiences of my entire life. I loved it. We just camped like kind of in the wilderness, so we just chose anywhere to camp. And we chose this point like where the slopes of Mount Snowdon kind of came down, and there was this random natural lake, and there was like a beach, not like a nice beach, but a beach by the lake, and we slept on that beach, pitched our tents and stuff. I had brought Uno, and I'm not joking, Uno is probably the best thing that you can bring on NCS. I don't know how many times we played that game, but it was a game changer. And as it was getting dark, we watched the sunset, and we found this massive rock to sit on, and we watched the sunset over the lake. And it was so quiet, it was so unpolluted, it was just beautiful. And we cooked our food on our Trangia kind of D&B style. And when it was completely pitch black, we made a table out of little rocks that we found, and we just played Uno in the dark with like our head torches. And it's just memories like that. And then the morning after, we went and we hiked the rest of the mountain, hiked back down. And some people physically like struggled more, but I think it's quite good in those situations because you do learn to compromise with other people's abilities. So yeah, I loved the hiking experience. Even if you're not a massive fan of D&B or walking in general, that is not a reason not to do it. It was fun regardless, even for people who hated nature or whatever. Another thing I loved about NCS, some people were like not liking it, but I kind of loved it. Every single night you have wave time. So all of the groups are called your wave. So like, oh, I was on wave of July 18th or whatever it was. So your wave gets together and has wave time. It's just basically like ice-breaking activities or games, and it sort of just became a bit of like a joke, like, oh guys, yes, okay, cool, wave time. We played games that like kids would play, but it was so fun, it just made me feel like a child again. And every single night you would have that. And it was really nice to see over the days in that first week the progression of our group and our like bonding. So we kind of started sort of boys and girls a bit segregated, and each night, you know, you'd come together for dinner. We started to kind of migrate together, and like in the morning for breakfast, all of us would just choose to sit on one table together. And it was just really nice. You just really got to know the people in your group. In the evening, you all comment on how the project managers did, you know, how they could improve and that sort of thing. You definitely do get to know people in other groups as well, which is nice. So then the weekend, we went home, we had the weekend off in between each of the weeks, and I went home to my family. And I could not have guessed how much I would miss my friends from NCS. That weekend felt so like dead and uneventful, and I was just like itching to get back. It sounds so cheesy, but I'm not even gonna lie to you, that was just how it was. And then we got back on Monday, we went to the centre, had our bags packed for week 2. And week 2 of NCS is you stay in university style accommodation, which is different for every wave obviously. And you learn lots of different skills. So for example, public speaking, and also you learn your specific skill that you kind of chose. So for us it was business enterprise, and you get to meet with like industry professionals who kind of teach you more about your chosen skill. So I think we went to like Hewenden Student Village or something. I don't know, but I was really happy with the accommodation. We each got an individual room within like the flats and stuff, and I had an ensuite bathroom, which I was like, yes, and there was like good desk space, good closet space, and I shared the halls with the 3 girls that I had shared the room with on phase 1, so I'd already gotten to know them. And you weren't actually allowed to be in each other's rooms, that was like a rule, but like don't tell the NCS providers. But there were quite a few times where Kayla like crept into my room and we just like had chats. I don't know, there were just relationship things going on NCS and lots of like goss. And me and Kayla would just creep into each other's rooms and just chat about it. And there was one time where the person who was like monitoring our halls was like walking around and Kayla was in my room and it was like, Kayla, like under the bed, Kayla, go. And I can remember Nelly coming in and she was like, oh, hi Jade. And I was like, oh, hi Nelly, hi. I just knew Kayla was under the bed and we couldn't, to be honest, she was so nice. I'm sure if she'd found out that Kayla was there, we wouldn't have been told off that much. But yeah. So I think the first thing we did was public speaking. And even if you were terrified of public speaking, it's pretty useful to do NCS public speaking. They took us to this place. There were lots of different like introductory phases to work your way up to giving a sort of little speech to your group, and they were very good about it. It wasn't like, especially if people were like terrified, they really did like work through it with you, which was nice. You literally have like 15 minutes to prepare a speech on any topic. And I think I chose self-confidence as a teenager, like leading myself up for this YouTube channel. And I kind of described my experiences of when I was younger and I had like less self-confidence. And I actually started crying during my speech to my group. I actually feel like that bonded us even more. I really did feel like I opened up to my group a lot in that. Honestly, I was so blessed with my group. I think a lot of NCS does rely on the fact that you get a good group and that you meet people that you genuinely like get on with. And I definitely had that with my group. They were so supportive. We literally had our ward symbol and all our photos, as you've probably seen, had the ward symbol, which I actually made up, just saying. And yeah, after the public speaking, we also did things like Bite the Ballot, which was about politics and voting and the importance of voting as a young person. And like loads of just other useful sort of workshop things. And in the evenings we would have wave time. We'd also play lots of Uno. We'd played Cards Against Humanity. We would all just kind of mingle in the like grounds of the student accommodation. And as it was getting dark, we'd all just kind of chill out there. We'd play with a ball. Sometimes they took us round to the park nearby, which was so fun, and we just went on stuff. We just played in the fields, and I don't even know. It was just like everyone got on so well that whatever we did was fun. I loved it so much. If I could go back to my NCS, I would. So yeah, what else did we do? That week we also did business enterprise, and we learned about marketing and sales. We learned about the importance of specific marketing techniques. And then that week we also had to plan a community project in preparation for our massive community project. So the one that we got to do was for an old people's home. I think it was Age Concern. And we just had to plan an event for them. So we got to go and see them on the first day, and we just got to get to know the people a bit more. We got to see what old people's interests were, and I don't really know that many elderly people. So for me, it was really like eye-opening to just have a chat with these amazing, inspirational people. And I heard about, you know, war experiences and what people like to do, you know, when they were young. And basically we formulated as a group the idea of recreating Hammersmith Palace, which was apparently the hangout before the war. So we decided to recreate it for them and look up the posters that would have been there and make the posters. And we basically wanted to also host a Strictly Come Dancing for the old people. So me and Jack, you might have seen Jack in my other videos, but me and Jack volunteered to learn the Strictly Come Dancing, you know, the yeah, you know. We volunteered to learn that dance and basically give the dance for the old people. And I cannot dance, okay? My mum is a Zumba teacher, but I cannot dance. I am not good at dancing, but that doesn't matter. I thought to myself, no, they're going to enjoy it, so I might as well just do it. And I will insert a clip of our final dance for them.
Bowler and Jack Dickinson.
had to give that dance at our final presentation, just saying. But yeah, we learned that dance. And we also planned a big event for them. We got food. We danced with the old people, which was so lovely. We just chatted to them more. That day was absolutely priceless. I feel like they really enjoyed it. And we asked them to write down their favourite memories of their life and from the day, because it was an Alzheimer's and dementia home, so they do tend to lose their memories very quickly. So we kind of wanted them to have something physical to like look back on and hopefully jog their memories. Also, my experience of being vegan on week 2, as opposed to having been limited on week 1, I actually got the best opportunities on week 2 food-wise. Because I was vegan, they just ordered like double the food for our hauls, so our kitchen was stocked up like 3 times as much as everyone else's. Like they literally had to sometimes come to our hauls and ask for food because we had so much. So we had like 5 varieties of vegan cheese and random stuff like that. And we had so many fruits and vegetables. I also forgot to say that the food you order on week 2 you have to budget for yourself in week 1. So you get this sheet and you have to order food and stuff. And we just got given like way more than we budgeted, which was great. And obviously you cook the food for yourself, but that wasn't really an issue. My flatmates were really accommodating of the fact that I was vegan. I mean, I got vegan stick, like loads of it. Like, oh, you can just go eat the grass outside, but you know, I'm used to that, so that's fine. And on the final night, there was a big MasterChef sort of competition, like Bake Off. And I can't cook. We actually made such an effort. Like the 2 drama girls in my halls gave a musical theatre performance for the judges as evening entertainment. I made a menu, and then like Kayla like cooked the food and stuff. And yet we didn't win, but you know, that's sad. We even cleaned up our kitchen so beautifully. I will insert a photo. And then we snuck into the boys' halls while they were being judged, and they had just literally put a bowl of salad leaves with a fork stabbed in the top of it, because I just couldn't cook anything better. It was just like the funniest thing. I have so many good memories from week 2, like so many. I feel like most of the bonding was done in week 1 so that we could just enjoy week 2, and especially with the other groups, you just get to know everyone, and everyone's so nice on NCS. Even if you don't know anyone, like everyone is just so willing to make friends because they're in the exact same position as you. And when you do spend that much time with people, you just learn to get on with them, all of them, and it's just really nice. Let me just change the camera because the light is just rubbish. I'm filming this at night if you hadn't noticed. And then that weekend we went home, which was really sad. I did not want to go home. I wanted to stay at NCS forever. The final few nights especially I just loved. I loved it. I really loved it. I wanted to live in my little NCS bubble away from the rest of the world for like ever. But then came week 3. Week 3 was where you planned your big social action project. So for that you stayed at home, it wasn't residential, and you get given a charity and you basically have to plan an event for them. We got the charity Kids, who were a lovely charity for disabled children who kind of gave them days out. So we were given a venue and we had to sort of come up with a themed event. I can't actually remember what our theme was. That's kind of rubbish. But I know that we played loads of board games, we came up with loads of games. We did pizza making with them. So we did like pizza decorating and we like all cooked them in the kitchen there. We had our chefs and the kids literally loved that, which was so nice to see. Also, my greatest ever moment came in week 3 because my group voted me as director of the team. So obviously you have project managers throughout NCS and everyone gets to be a project manager to kind of like prove their leadership skills. And then you kind of get one person who's voted as the main team director for the final social action project. And my team voted me as director, which was crazy. And then it was up to me to kind of delegate the roles based on the personalities of the people that I knew. So for example, Alexei in our group was just on it with the maths and stuff, so he was head of finance, we have head of strategics, head of communications, and we sort of like made a team within ourselves to plan the event. And then came the final stage of NCS, and that was funding a social action campaign day. So we decided to choose the issue of disability awareness because we were working with in partnership with the charity Kids, and it just seemed kind of relevant. And you had to do a business pitch to the Dragon's Den judges in order to earn some money to vest into your social action project day. So that meant you had to finance, work out the finances for what you'd need, you'd have to pitch money for it. And there was this awesome day where we all dressed up really smart like business people. We all prepared a proper business pitch. I wore this smart dress and we went on stage, and in front of all the groups and the judges, we pitched our ideas. We had this slick pitch and we got all the money. We got the full £50 to invest into our day, which was a great moment. And then there's also a sponsorship day. This was probably the most fun day. One of my most fun days in all of my memories. Famous NCS thing, the sponsorship day, and it's like the NCS challenges, and you have to try and complete them all in one day, which is pretty impossible. Literally everything from lick someone's nose, travel 200 meters in loads of different methods, walk around a park, high five a stranger, get a stranger to do the Macarena with you, take a photo sitting at a bus stop, find a road name that is the name of a member of your team. That was a hard one. We walked a long time to find a road with that. Make someone in your group try something new for the first time. Like so many fun challenges, and we just had a day to go around the town and just complete all the challenges, and we did get like most of them done.
So we are pretty sweaty right now because we just had the most interesting
Strenuous day, yeah.
strenuous and interesting day ever.
Yeah, so today it's our sponsorship day, and as you know, we are working with Kids, the charity who work with disabled children throughout the UK, an amazing charity, and we've been raising money by taking part in the NCS challenges. So we've been doing many challenges, from high-fiving strangers to litter picking our name. And how much have we raised so far, Jack?
So far we've got 147, something like that.
Yes.
But tomorrow it should
We are
probably double
hoping
that,
to
easily
double it.
double that.
And then after our sponsorship day was our social action campaign day. So we went into the heart of the town centre, we had posters, we gave out leaflets, we just spoke to people about disabilities and how they felt about it. That definitely got me out of my comfort zone to have to talk to members of the public. We kind of sat by the cinema and just tried to catch random people and just talk to them. And as NCS came to a close, I was just so sad. It almost feels like idyllic when you're in the NCS bubble, because you are just kind of away from the rest of the world. You're just doing all these fun projects that are helping people, and you know, you're with your group. Like, you and your group will just, you guys are a close-knit community. I'm not even joking. There was no one in my group that I disliked. I feel like you genuinely do make like friends for life, if you're lucky anyway. And even if you don't keep in touch, you just like cherish these memories from NCS, which seem like completely like separate to everything else, which is so nice. I just loved it. Like, this video isn't sponsored, and you don't have to do NCS if you don't want to. You know, I was on the waiting list until the day before NCS started, so I just didn't think I was going to get on it. And I know it seems like a long time, but it goes very quickly, and you just wish it could be longer in the end. And I also had a very busy summer, because it was the day after my DV finished, I went on to NCS, and the day after NCS finished, I went on holiday. So I literally had crammed it into the 3 weeks in between. So it's definitely doable. But yeah, I would just 1000% recommend doing it. Say yes to NCS, challenge yourself, all that sort of thing. I mean, you can talk about it in an interview, but even more than that, I think it really does just develop your personality and your skill set. You just take away these memories, which are kind of priceless. So yeah. I hope this helped some of you guys who are interested in NCS, or I hope it was just interesting in general. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is probably gonna be quite a long video, and to be honest, there's so much more I can say. But if you'd like to see another video on NCS, such as what to pack, or one of the weeks in more detail, or, you know, more details on one of my projects within NCS, or any of that sort of thing, just comment it down below so I know. Definitely like this video, please. But yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. See you!